Welcome to Mark TCG, this is Mark talking, and today we have here our Monday analysis, a video that I talk about all of the tournaments that happened this weekend, besides the PLANETARY Qualifier Limited, because Limited is not like... I don't think we had too much to talk about it. So let's start here with the PQs here in the bottom. We have this one with in Phoenix that Han Solo won the PQ, and this is interesting because we are starting to see more and more Han Solo yellow out there because of John Yellow that won a sector out there. So here we have like a yellow meta too. We have like 5 decks because this Kylo Ren is playing with Petronaki. So let's see the list, and let's start with this Kira Red that is really cool, right? We have here Kira Red. Like, this works as a hard control deck. Like, we have only Dr. Pershing and Chowdson for the early game. All of the other units is just like late game. We have Kira to deploy with Top of the Sum that is just amazing. You're probably going to defeat every unit that your opponent have. You can play this with Plot, which is good, so you don't lose a card from your hand. And you still have a Kira to attack for 7, right? Because she goes to 7-1, like... This is so cool. I didn't play yet, but I play against a bunch of this deck in Karabas. I need to record a video with this deck here for the channel. But yeah, as you can see, like, this is a hard control deck. We have 2 Hyperspace Disasters to deal with the space units. We have 3 Super Lazy Blasts to deal with everything. Great Dragon because we're playing with red and not a hard control deck with green, right? So this means that we don't have ramp, so sometimes can be tough to deal with ramp decks. Like, they have like maybe 10 resources, we still only in 7, maybe 8, you know, so this could be hard, but it's still amazing deck, and for sure you're going to play here for the channel. Here we have Kylo Ren Petronaki. This works like the Kylo Ren Red, double red, but this is more aggressive because we have Surprise Strike, we have Breaking In, we have some units that is better than the other red cards, like all the thing that is at 1/4 that attacks for 3. It's hard to defeat it. Attacks for more, so it's good. We have here some like tempo cards like Bazine, control cards actually, because we can see our opponent's hand, we can discard it. Looks good. I think it's really situational because Kylo Ren really wants to play like wilds ahead, like really fast. Battle Fury for sure. Ascension Cable, like to give Saboteur to something, maybe to your Kylo Ren. I already have like Battle Fury, you can just play Ascension Cable there. Pass through a Shiro to take it for a bunch. Yes, you can do that. Battle Fury is an amazing card with Kylo Ren because you kind of combo, because Kylo Ren attacks for more for like they lose attack for each card that you have in your hand. So if you attack, you have like 2 cards in your hand. If you attack with Battle Fury, you're going to discard first, then you're going to give +1 to Kylo Ren. So yeah, this is amazing. I want to play with this one too. I played a bunch here in the channel with Kylo Ren double red, but this is the yellow one, so I think I can record something here. Let's see. I have 1000 yellow with the Force, and I'm pretty sure this Ethanol, like the Nick, this guy, I have faced him a bunch of times in Karabas. I could be wrong, but I think I faced him a bunch of times. Maybe I saw him at top 8 in some PQs. I don't know, but I think this Nick is not uncommon for me. I love 1000 yellow. I think it like is the funniest way to go with 1000. I think is more fun to play than the 1000 red, but I think 1000 red is more consistent in what you want to do. But 1000 yellow is good because a bunch of players don't know how to play against this deck, because this is not a common deck, okay? We have some different cards like Chi and Flurry, so you can play Anakin and Darth Vader with Ambush. That is really cool. We have here Bamboozle to trigger Anakin twice, which is amazing. We have Liberated by the Darkness. That this is a card that I'm pretty sure 90% of the players not expecting this when you're facing Modern 1000, because we're not seeing this card too much, right? We can see a bunch of 1000 yellow that don't play with this card at all. This card is like a change of heart, but costing 1 less, but you need to use the Force, okay? We have Axe Wolves in this list, which is different too. Maybe to play Axe with Constructed Lightsaber, we have a huge Sentinel, maybe, I don't know. This is we have Constructed Lightsaber to be really wild with maybe 1000, maybe your Force units. Sometimes, like, if you face a deck that you know the opponent can't defeat your unit, like if you're not facing like a blue villainy deck, something like that, or a yellow one that can just bounce, you can just play Carries turn 1, then Constructed Lightsaber turn 2, and start to like 6 damage every turn. Yeah, this is something that Sometimes if you just do this, you're going to win because of that. Like these characters can do like maybe 18 damage, and your opponent now we will do with something maybe like with ECL with pulse, something like that. So it looks good. And we have Troll here. That is a card that we're not seeing too much, but I think in this list could be really good. And here we have Han Solo 1 yellow again, and I could be wrong, but I think this is the same list of John Yellow. I could be wrong, but I think it is the same list, like 2 Speeder Target, 1 Wile, 1 Qui-Gon Jinn, 1 Falcon, 1 Depp. I could be wrong, like I said, but I think it is the same list. And here in the channel, I posted recently a master guide of Han Solo 1 Yellow with John Yellow, the Sector Arena. We record together, we're talking about a bunch about the deck. To be honest, John Yellow talk way more than me. I'm not a Han Solo 1 Yellow player anymore. I play like in set 2, set 3, but now he just won a sector. He knows way more than me, and he talks a bunch. He teach like how to play against a bunch of meta decks. So go there, check it out. This video is like just amazing. Probably one of the best videos that I have here on my channel. And here we have another PQ, and as you can see here we have more yellow decks like Han Solo. We have Sabine yellow, which is interesting to see here too. Kazuda yellow is back, baby. Yeah. Here we have another one in Portland. I want to show some lists here like this Snoke blue that is different. We're not seeing too much Snoke blue. Looks like, I don't know, like I would say like Kira, but it's not like Kira at all. Like maybe for the late game we have Maul or Vader, but we don't have like Super Laser Blast. We don't. This deck wants to go wild, I think. Like play cost 1 units, maybe turn 1 to use Snoke's ability turn 1, 2. Maybe you can play this. Then if you have more units than your opponent in the next turn, we have like a 3/3 Sentinel, maybe. We have Partagaz because we have a bunch of official like Krennic, like this two here, like Jar Jar Binks, like Chancellor Palpatine, Vaner. Vaner you can just move the experience tokens, so it can be good. Like maybe you can attack with a unit that already have experience tokens, then attack with Vaner, defeat that experience token there, move to Vaner. Now you get take for 3, not for 2. We have this Nut Gunner that is when playing on attack, you may give another friendly official unit Sentinel, and you have a bunch of official units. And these have grids, so can be good with the experience token. Looked interesting. I'm going to play this one for sure, like the test. Here we have Sabine Wren Data Vault, and Sabine right now is in a downtrend, like Sabine ECL, we're not seeing so much. This guy made top 8 with Sabine Data Vault. How many players have in this one? 110 players. I think it was the biggest one of this weekend, so it's good to see Sabine like Data Vault back, right? Maybe this is the right way to go now in this meta, because it's really hard for Sabine. I think we have a bunch of decks that is beating Sabine right now. The meta is not good to her, so it's interesting to see this one. I can't see Wrecker here because we have a QR code in front, but pull damage is just 1 copy, okay? Because yeah, we don't have ECL. Maybe he don't want to play this just for nothing, like in a turn with 5 resource. I don't know. We have 3 talent intervention, which is good because we don't have ECL, so we need to have a card that give damage to our units. It's interesting, like we have some cards that we don't see so much in Sabine because ECL, because we need to play with more talent cards, right? So we need to fit something here in the deck, like a Delphi Patrol Wing, Kit Fist to Ether Sprite, Gungi. So Sundari Peacekeeping in the main deck, really interested here. But yeah, like looks a lot like a Sabine, but just without ECL, you have like plus 8 HP, right? Because you're playing with Data Vault. Here we have Kylo Ren Tarkin back, and this list is so different than the other ones. Like we have Mix for sure, because we can use Kylo Ren's ability due to damage. Tarkin turn 1, yes, we can do that. Have Detonate, Force Lightning. We have some Force units like Troya's Acolyte, Secretive Sage. We have Sith Holocron for Kylo Ren for sure, Snapshot Reflex for Kylo Ren for sure. Like this is the Kylo Ren combo. You want to just deploy your lead into a bunch of damage and win by that. But we have some other cards that is different. Like we have Chen Syndulla here, makes sense in a meta that we have a bunch of ramps like Green Dax and like Yoda, maybe Kira, like there's Kylo Ren Data Vault Dax. And not just this, we have like Han Solo 1, so we can play this to ramp, right? Maybe in the turn of your opponent's deploy, he's going to use the ability to deploy Han Solo. You can just play Chan, then ramp. So next turn you can deploy Kylo Ren. Yes, you can do that. And this is interesting because we have Darth Maul here. I really don't know what he wants to do with this card here for the late game. really different. We have Anakin because we have Jedi Lightsaber, just one copy of Jedi Lightsaber and 2 of Heroic Resolve, so we can discard this really easy with Kylo Ren, then trigger Anakin twice. This is a thing that is common right now, that we know that Kylo Ren can do that really easy, right? Trigger Anakin twice. Looks really interesting too. I really want to play with this deck too. And here we have the finalists of this PQ with Han Solo 1 blue with the Force, which is interesting. I played like some matches with this deck, not this list specific, but I played, I think it's really good right now, to be honest. We have Shatterpoint here, because maybe we can defeat something that is like maybe a Chira that Fella Dragon can defeat it, right? And Take Down can defeat Chira, but can't defeat bigger units, but Shatterpoint can defeat a bunch. And as you can see, we don't use too much the Force here. We have Chira and Internet Warrior. I think it's just this, yeah, Vanestra, and just this, like just these 3 cards going to use the Force. So we're probably going to use the Force. So it's not like a deck that we're going to use the Force every time, like Thousand, like Darth Maul. Like we don't have a leader that triggers the Force, so it's okay to play with Shatterpoint because we're probably going to have the Force. Okay, so looks good. I think this is the first time that I see a Han Solo 1 blue with Bo-Katan. Makes sense because we can play this for like 1 less, like for 8, 1 turn earlier maybe. If you go wild, maybe, like, I don't know if this is good, to be honest, like, but you can hold your Han Solo to play like 2 turns to have like the turn with 7 resources. You can use his ability, then deploy, then the attack. You go to 9 and play Bo-Katan. Sometimes you can do that against specific decks maybe, but I don't think it's like that good. Like you could just like deploy early and do like more damage, right? Here we have Madison. We have Sabine Tarkin that won the tournament, but I want to show here first this troll yellow that is really different. This is not with the Force, this is just yellow, and this is a control version. Look at this. We have a bunch of control cards like Merciless Contest, Paw of the Dark Side, Vigilance, No Glory, No Good to Me Dead because we're playing yellow, why not? So we have a bunch of like units for turn 1. This is a control deck that is going to play turn 1 because most of the control decks don't play it. Maybe you're going to play 2 units turn 2 because we have Krennic, so you can start with Krennic, then play like Inferno 4 and another card in turn 2, like that have 1 defeated, because all of cost 2 besides Krennic have 1 defeated, so you're going to play only for 1. Looks interesting because, like I said, this is a hard control deck. Like we have some units, but all of the cards have is here for something. Like the Spirit Command can give -2/-2 duo of Troll, so we can defeat something with it. Like if your opponent plays something like 4/4, 2/4, turn 1, you can just attack there, then do 2 damage, then trigger Troll's ability and defeat it. Like Mina, you can defeat Mina Bone Tree, you can defeat a bunch of cards with the Spirit Commander, right? Nice Sister Warrior, we drew 2 cards for you, which is amazing. Onyx Squadron can heal for 4. Inferno 4 will trigger here to show to like rearrange the top, the future of your deck, which is amazing. And for the late game, you have a bunch of late game cards that is different, like Troll, Cad Bane, Chimera, that is cards that we don't see in like in hard control decks, but it makes sense here because we're playing yellow, so and Troll, so we have the Legacy Run. We can play Chimera to trigger Legacy Run without losing our Legacy Run, so you're going to do like 12 damage, and we still have Legacy Run there for next turn, and still have to attack for 3 this turn. Maybe if your opponent plays something, you can defeat it, like sacrificing a space unit, do 6 damage again, maybe 12 again, because you can deploy a Troll and trigger again. So looks really interesting. I really want to play with. I want to play with a bunch of decks here for sure. Here we have Sabine Tarkin Town, and this works a lot like Kylo Ren Tarkin Town, the double red, like we have before. We have one rebel slot here, which is interesting to see, like, cause sometimes it's clutch. Yeah, like you can pay this for 3 resources, give +2 this turn, because it's +1 for a unit, +1 for another one. You're going to attack with 2 units, so sometimes it's necessary to win the match, so this could work. And we have some new cards here that I didn't see before, like this cost 1, 2, 2 hidden makes sense because we have a bunch of cost 1 units, and this is Rebel, right? So you can play like Wing Leader to buff this one. We'll have a 4/4 now, maybe. So yeah, and not just this one, I think this Academy Disciplinarian, when play, you may do 1 damage to a friendly unit with 2 or less power and read it. So this is different too. I think I never saw this card before, maybe with Inquisitor, I don't know. Yeah, but it's fun to see like we have only one Sabine Wren here, right? Because we really want to play with a bunch of cost 1 units. We have only a few that cost 2. Carries for sure, Carries is just stupid, this card is amazing. We have Hotshot here. And I think he wants to play more this Hot Shot, like for only 1 resource, you know, like just to give +2 without the Smuggle thing. We can play with Smuggle, but we will cost like 5 because we don't have yellow. But can work sometimes to defeat some like defeat a base right away, right? We have aggression, we have Fighters for Freedom, makes a lot of sense because we're playing like only red cards here. We have some like R2 and Wing Leader that is only white, but for sure all of the other cards is just red, so it makes a lot of sense to play Fighters for Freedom because every time you're going to play something, you're going to do damage. Like you can play Fighters for Freedom, maybe turn 3, the turn of the deploy, you can ping. You can like play maybe 2 or 3 units ping like more because of Fighters for Freedom. Yeah, this could be really good and really aggressive. Here we have PQ and Fort Wayne. We have some interesting decks to see here too. I could be wrong, but I think this was the first Piet Red win of PQs. I could be wrong, but we've seen a bunch of Piet Red in like top 8s, but he didn't want too much. This could be the first one or at least the second, something like that. But we have here Ray Data Vault and Cad Bane blue. Let's see Ray Data Vault because we're not seeing this too much, and I know that my camera is in front. Here we have 1 E-Wing and 3 home ones. We don't see Ray too much right now. I think if you're going to play with Ray, why not play with Yoda, you know? Like, Yoda looks better. This list is really different than the other ones because we have Anakin and Palpatine's Return and Overwhelming Barrage. This is really different. Looks cool, and we have Timely Intervention too, that I think is a card that we're not seeing so much in Ray. Looks interesting because if you have like Anakin Skywalker in your card pile and you play Palpatine's Return, like you can pay for 8, play Anakin Skywalker, and you will trigger ties because for sure you're going to have like white cards there. And now you have Palpatine's Return, so you can trigger Anakin twice, and you can do like -3/-3 here, -2/-3 there, -6/-6 here maybe. And we have a Overrun Barrage, we have a bunch of units like Kylo Ren back, and I'm 100% sure that your opponent is not expecting Overrun Barrage for 9/9 in your Kylo Ren back. Like, definitely no one was expecting this, so this could work. I really want to know if this talk with this player to see if this like was good, like this barrage was good for him in the tournament. Yeah, I really want to know that. And then here we have a Bossk Tarkin too. For some reason we don't have the list in Sud B. I was something happened, so I couldn't get there. And here in the bottom we have twice the Pride. Okay. This is really aggressive deck. We can play like some bounty hunter, some bounty upgrades like Death Mark, Guild Target, Rich Reward like turn 1. Guild Target is for 0, so we can still play a cost 2 unit. Maybe you can play Rich Reward and play a cost 1 unit. We have Forward Starfighter, we have Crackshot Viewing, we have Dengar, so we can defeat something maybe turn 1 because we have Tarkin out. So you can play Dengar, you can play Rich Reward. You're going to ping with Dengar. Maybe if it's a gun, you can ping with Bossk, then Tarkin tells, yeah, you can do that. This deck is really aggro. I already faced this deck in the Karabas. Is really good. Like, for sure, it's not a tier as tier 1. It's not a meta deck, but it's really good. And like, it works, and it's really fun to play. So here we have the Cad Bane blue, and this is interesting too. It's not with Colossus, it's just blue. 30 HP base. We have Bamboozle here because we can play with Anakin because we're playing with blue, so we can trigger Anakin twice. Bamboozle going to trigger for free really easy because we have a bunch of yellow cards for sure. This looks different than the Tarkin Tail. We have some cards that we don't see so much, like Cicatro Bizago. Syndicate Lekis, I think this is a good card now because this is a control version, so maybe the turn, like maybe for 5 resources your opponents don't have a unit. Maybe he's just going to deploy right away. Maybe a Han Solo, and you can just go with Syndicate Lekis, attack for 5, ping 1, defeat it. This can defeat Sabine without like a saber or something like that. So Syndicate Lekis can be good. Can snipe for 6 if your opponent don't have units there, so could be good. Survives if you're going to defeat Han Solo, something like that. I think, like, yeah, for the blue card we have Sentinel, Paul the Dark Side for sure. Lone Pike, that is an Underworld card. We have Takedown, No Glory, Anakin, like I said, with Bamboozle. And for the late game, you have Avenger. And this one will have like redundance in about capture things, because we have Cad Bane and Throw. So sometimes, like I said, we're playing a control deck, so maybe you're not going to have a unit. You can just play Throw ready and start to put some pressure right now. So looks good too. And here we have in another PQ, we have in Miami here this Krennic ECL. I'm going to show some lists like fast now. This is really cool to see because we don't see Krennic so much. This was an amazing deck in set 1 with ECL. We have now Vader, so it's probably the best ECL card that we have here is Vader for sure. Craving Power to playing Krennic maybe. It's only for 4, but now we are going to have a 4-9 restore 2, right? With damage could be like a 5 something. We have here Grand Moff Tarkin. There's a card we don't see too much, but we could be good because we can draw like 2 Imperial cards and have a bunch of Imperial cards here. It's interesting because Walker is not Imperial, right? Yeah. I think they maybe don't give Imperial to Walker to like let this card don't have the black aspect, the villainy aspect, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but we have a bunch of Imperial cards. Cool. Here we have Obi-Wan Blue Virgin's Temple, like the first one with the 25 HP base. This is interesting to see here, top 4 too, because we're not seeing too much Obi-Wan right now. And I think Obi-Wan could be really good post rotation. Look at this. The only cards that we're going to fall here in the rotation is like we have Entrenched. We have Legal Authority, Sindari Peacekeeper, General's Blade, Luke, and Ewing. Felder Dragon, okay. Yeah, we'll have more than I thought. But yeah, it's still like we can change like Felder Dragon for Shadow Point, maybe. We can like Luke and Ewing is kind of hard, but Entrenched, maybe we can trade this for another thing. I don't know, General's Blade, we can play maybe Yoda's Lightsaber or something like that. I know that it's not the same thing, but I think you guys got it. I think we'll work post-rotation. We have like the base of the deck is still here, so this could be really good like post-rotation. We have Darth Maul here, and this is another one that we can say a post-rotation. We're only going to lose like Force Lightning, Force Choke, Pull the Dark Side, and Ki-Adi-Mundi. And we have some lists that don't play with Ki-Adi-Mundi, so like just these 4 cards, all of the other cards is still going to be playable in the meta, so like looks good. And here we have this Darth Maul Blue. This is because I never saw one with Ki-Adi-Mundi to draw cards. I think makes sense. We have all those integrations here that is just amazing with Darth Maul because you're just going to like make your opponent have only 1 HP left in that unit. You're just going to ping with Darth Maul and defeat it. Really cool. Have Marion that you can ping more too. Let me see. Yeah, for late game you have the Sun and Devastator. I think this is a pretty common list just without the Ki-Adi-Mundi. I think Ki-Adi-Mundi is like different to see here too. And I think Anakin is common with Darth Maul because like I said, we're going to ping a bunch of times, so sometimes Anakin can trigger a management screen if it's something, right? Here we have Padme Amidala that made top 8 in Greenway. This is pretty common too. I was playing with Padme Amidala for a bunch, like in the like last weeks. 15 reference one is just stupid. You're going to play like 2 spy you're going to create 2 spy tokens and ping, so you can Tarkin down to 1, and you still have 2 spy tokens to take for 4 next turn. You still have 2 units, so you can like maybe ping turn 1, Tarkin down, turn 2, your opponent is going to play something that costs 3, you're just going to capture Shanks in a shuttle. Now you have like 3 units, your opponent don't have something, you're already talking for 4. Next turn he's still going to play something that probably not going to defeat any of your units, so you're going to take for 6, you already did 10 damage. Looks good. So you have 3 units, you have only 1, you're going to play something else. 100% sure that you're going to have Coordinate for next turn for Plo Koon. So yeah, really good this deck. I think Epoch is really good to take for 5 every turn. This one don't play with Han Solo Pilot, so you're not going to play like this to buff and take for 7. Some list runs with it. We have Senator Ferocity here to deploy Padme and play this with Plot, which is amazing because Padme is at 3-8, so it's really tough to defeat her. So you can just play like Senator Ferocity goes 6-8, maybe 9-8 if you play both. You can do that. We have Kazuda. Against ramp deck, this card is just amazing. You can attack for 6 every time. We have Kira. This deck is really good. We have Anakin's card that is probably one of the best cost 3 units that we have right now if you're playing with Padme, because this have 3-4 hidden and have raid 2 if you're playing with Padme. So this is a 5-4, right? Really good deck. Here we have Dedra Miro Blue. This is a hard control deck. As you can see, we have only Client and Tag for the early game. Late game we have Bounty Hunter Crew to bring back some, maybe Vigilance, Super Laser Blast, Emperor Palpatine, a bunch of late game cards here. Trade Drag, as like I said, like the Kira Red, because we're playing red, we're not playing green, we don't have ramp, but we have like some more removals that is red, like Bomb Run, Open Fire, and Daring Raiders. Daring Raiders is not a card that we see too much in hard control decks, is only 2 damage, but with that is really good because we use her ability. And your opponent needs to choose if you're going to do like 2 damage in a unit or just draw a card. Sometimes they let us do a damage, so sometimes we can finalize some units with that in raid. Late game here, Annihilator 2. This deck looks good. We have Pillage. I think I already have a gameplay here in the channel, so go there, check it out if you want to play with this. Here we have in Karori, and I choose this PQ here. I know we have only 31 players. It's not a huge PQ. But look into this meta. I really want to play in this meta. Like, we have Rose Tick Yellow, we have Lemans in top 4 with ECL, we have Boba Daimo here. So let's see this list. And I think I made a mistake here. Okay, now we got the Rose Tick Yellow here. This list is not that common. I think we saw before in the last set, Rose Tick made top 8 in the PQ. I have a video here on the channel. The deck is fun to play, it's cool, it's really aggressive sometimes, but for sure it's not that consistent like another aggro deck like Han Solo 2, ECL, but it's still an amazing deck, still fast. We have a bunch of space that we can play. We can play Fireball with damage, kind of whatever, because we can heal with Rose Tick, right? So we have some pilots there. This is like a mainly focused in space. We have Land Speeder, because this is a cost 2, 2, 3 ambush in the ground, but this is a vehicle, so you can play pilots in the ground too if you want, right? So this is it. Let's see here, the Lemans ECL. This is really different. We don't see too much. I faced up against like a bunch of this deck in the Carabas, but I didn't play with it at all. We have Mandalorian armor here, maybe to play in the Axe Wolves. Like, we're going to give like a shield and experience token, so we buff more the Axe. I really think we want to play with Axe here. It probably is the main thing. We have Ogdo Bogdo that we can trigger like, we can play Ogdo maybe turn 2, then play Nimble Prowlers for free because of Lemans doing damage Ogdo. So now Ogdo is a 6-5 with damage, so can't take for 6 the next turn because we already did damage in Ogdo. So yeah, this can work. We have Fen and Roll to play like more upgrades. Looks interesting to see this list too. Thinking the meta that we have to play with a bunch of rogue decks could be cool to play, right? And here we have the Obi-Wan, actually the Boba Fett yellow Boba Daimo. We have here 3 cards here in the bottom. We have Fennec, Han Solo, and U-Wing, and my camera is in front of this Overrun Barrage and Enfys Nest. Yes, we have Overrun Barrage here. We're not playing blue, so we can trigger Anakin twice. We not even have Anakin here, but we have Overrun Barrage for 7, right? We have 3 Boba Fett's armor. I used to play with this card a bunch in my Han Solo. Actually, my Boba Fett yellow back in set 2 was just stupid, this card. And we have Boba Fett leader, so maybe we can have like a 6-9 with Boba Fett armor is like really hard to defeat it. Like, if you don't have Rival Soul, this Boba Fett will stick for a while on the board for sure. Looks interesting here. We have a bunch of cards that have keywords, because this is the main thing about Boba Fett. So we have Ambush, we have Plot, we have Smuggle, Restore 1, Raid 1. We have a bunch of things here that we can do. So we can use Eagers to attack for 5, we can attack for 4 with Bleeder, so Bleeder can defeat Falcon, which is really cool to see. Fireball can defeat Falcon only for 2 resources. Maybe if you have like 4 resources, we can play Fireball, defeat a Falcon, and still can play something else that costs 2, right? Looks good. We have some plot cards that can Vader Might, like Jar Jar Binks, like I said. So we can play like the player leader playing Vader Might for 4. So now we have a 6-10. Then play Boba Fett's armor because we still have 2 resources. So now we have a 8-12. That is really tough to defeat her, right? So this is it. Here we have in another PQ a Piet blue that won in Cagos, Puerto Rico. This is a hard control deck too, like with Piet. But the good thing about Piet is that we can play our units that do something like Avenger, like Malevolence, Devastator, Annihilate earlier. And we have the Kentuel Arrestor Cruiser. That is a card that we see only in Piet right now. We can play this for 5. We will make it close blue, black. If you do this, you exhaust an enemy unit. This unit can't threat it while this unit is in play. And this is a 6-7, so it's really tough to defeat this card, right? So if you play this, probably if opponent don't play with like removals, this card will stick there. Your opponent's unit will be like exhausted forever. We have Super Laser Salvo to do a bunch of damage in the ground for sure. And Trenched, because we're playing like full space, so we can play in Trenched like to avoid some damage, like Trenched come them like in the ground maybe. Could be good. We have the ramp decks. I think the only problem with Piet for the Pulse Rotation is we're going to lose like this double ramp here, right? But yeah, the blue, I think Piet blue is better in the next set. We are going to have like more cards. Red, we'll lose some cards, so yeah. And this is it. This is all of the decks that I have here for this weekend. We saw like a bunch of like Rogue decks, and we see that the meta is kind of shaking right now. We see a bunch of Han Solo 2 ECL. I don't show the list here, but we have a bunch of Han Solo 2 ECL. I saw in a PQ in Germany that we have like a top it is just meta decks like Yoda Data Vault, Anakin Data Vault, Han Solo 2 ECL. So for sure, this is the tire ass, but I like, you guys know that I like to show here the rogue decks, meme decks that we don't see too much, made like good results like this Piet blue that won on PQ, So this is it. Thanks guys for watching. See you in the next video.